Hey everybody. Well, I'm just doodling here, getting warmed up. Warmed up by drawing a racing flame. Hey, why not? You know? Well, I'm sure glad you joined me today, because it's time to draw some race cars. I'm Boris. I work for Joe Gibbs Racing. You know, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones. You know who they are, right? Well, I run the social media and with my team and the video stuff, so I thought, since we're inside these days, staying safe, staying healthy, how about we do some things like drawing, things we enjoy. I know I've always loved drawing, and I've also loved race cars. And I have a feeling that you're the same way out there. So I thought, hey, let's put the two together and let's draw some race cars. Well, today it's a special episode because yesterday, who knows what day it was yesterday? That's right, Dale Earnhardt's birthday. The legend, Dale Earnhardt. So we're going to draw one of Dale Earnhardt's old race cars from the 80s today. But first, a little bit about me. As you can see, the stay-at-home orders have caused my hair to grow massively. It's sending me back to my days when I first started working with Joe Gibbs Racing, and why my nickname is Boris, which this picture I hope will make it very clear why they nicknamed me Boris. Yeah, so I'm throwing it back. I'm going back to my old Boris ways here, looking like Boris said, the race car driver. Joey Logano gave me that nickname, so there's no escaping it. Well, today we're going to draw this race car. Dale Earnhardt's 1980s car. One of his first ones in the Cup Series. It was his birthday yesterday. And hey, it's not so far out of the realm of possibilities. We had an Earnhardt driving for us at Joe Gibbs Racing last year. Remember that? Jeffrey Earnhardt? Great guy, Jeffrey Earnhardt. So what do you say we get started? You ready to draw? You can use pen, paper, crayons, colored pencils, markers, finger paints, chalk, or an iPad like me. I'm using the Procreate app and an Apple Pencil. Whatever you want. Did you know even on Instagram you can draw for free on your story? You could take a picture and draw with your finger. So there's no excuse. You better start drawing with me today, all right? Let's draw a race car to kick things off. We're looking at Dale Earnhardt's 80s race car. I love this race car. I have a cool backstory I'll share with you about this car as well. First, I want you to draw a line, a straight line, as straight as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just draw it along the bottom of your page, like that. See, mine's not perfect. We're not going for perfection here. We're just telling the story, having a good time, enjoying ourselves. You got your line? Well, next, I want you to draw a line up from this side, and then a little line over here, like that. See how little that line is? Yeah. A little line. Might go a little taller over here. What we're doing is we're framing out our race car. We're going to fit it inside some lines so we can kind of stay within the box and make it look like we want it to. If you notice, these older race cars, they were kind of a little more boxy than today's race cars, right? Yeah. A little more angular and jagged, where our current race cars are very aerodynamic. Well, we're gonna take care of that today. It's gonna be fun drawing this one. Maybe a little easier for you if it's a little more boxy. Next, I want you to draw a line across the top, kind of making a rectangle like this. And I'm going a little bit lighter. A little bit lighter. You don't have to go lighter, but I am. We might erase some of these lines later. And then draw it out a little bit further than your bottom line over here, because that's actually going to be the rear wheel right there, if you can believe it. All right. Got our car coming together. How's yours looking? Leave some comments. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to read some comments in a second. And tell me where you're watching from. I'm here in North Carolina. Had some storms yesterday, but the sun's out today. I'm near the Joe Gibbs Racing race shop. That's where I work, of course. I'm close to work. But where are you watching from? You having a good day? I hope so. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to make a block, like it's like a block of wood, and then we're going to chisel away the race car parts, and we're going to have a beautiful race car drawing when we finish. All right. Who else out there needs a haircut? I'm feeling I'm brushing the hair from my eyes here. All right. We've got the basics of our car here. Now at the back, I want you to extend this out a bit and then go up to that line you drew. See that? See what I did there? Let me see if I can My zoom is not working, but that's okay. All right. Well, let me see here. There we go. All right. Having some technical issues here. There we go. All right, now we need to draw a roof. You ready for the roof? The roof is kind of like the roof of a house. Has slopes like this, so draw two slopes. Draw one right about there. See that? And then draw one at the front. Like that. Just about the same. Just like the roof of a house, except this roof doesn't come to a point. That would be a very odd looking race car if it had a pointed roof. We're actually going to connect the roof like this. Okay? Yep, those race cars were a lot more boxy back then, but that's how we're drawing them. By the way, we're drawing Dale Earnhardt's car because it was his birthday yesterday. All right? So, what next? What next? Well, tell you the truth, the nose of these race cars is kind of boxy already, so we only have to do a little bit on the nose, but let's do that. Let's bring it to a little bit of a point. Right there. Okay? A little bit of a point, and then angle it back up. So if you can see that, if I erase those guidelines, it has a very slight point to it now. And then I'm actually going to just angle it up, trim off some of the hood, and angle it up to the windshield like that. We're just making small adjustments today. No big adjustments, just small adjustments. Looking good. I can see what you're seeing over there. Yep. Looking good. Who's your favorite race car driver? I'm going to read some comments while you're catching up on that nose. I really like seeing what you're saying out there, seeing what you're drawing. People send us in all sorts of drawings that they've drawn from our shows. We do this every weekday at noon, by the way, on the Joe Gibbs Racing channels. So join us there. Gary's watching. Cynthia's watching. Janet's watching. Greg says Boris with about 7 exclamation marks. What's up, Greg? Thanks for watching. Robin. We've got James in Pennsylvania. Jonathan's in Wisconsin. Akeem's in Blomberg. Let's see. Rory's offering me a haircut, but he's not offering it for free, so I'm going to just wait till the places open up, okay? I appreciate it though, Rory. Okay, let's get those windows in there, because the driver has to have a window to climb in the car. You know that. We don't have doors in these race cars, even back then in the 80s. So this roof we have here, what we want to do is draw the same angled line at the front, like this. That's going to be our A post. And then we need to follow that roof line all the way to about halfway. So if I was to divide this roof in half, that's about halfway, right? And now we have a window. A window for the driver to climb in. These were some cool cars back in the 80s, weren't they? Wild. You know, my story here, my uncle named Steve, he's the one that got me into NASCAR. I love racing and loving NASCAR, and then I followed through and made it my career. And he was a big Dale Earnhardt fan, and he actually bought this brand of car when it was new and gave it to me when I went to high school. Can you believe that? And then I drove it up here to North Carolina, and now I'm working for Joe Gibbs Racing. So just wanted to thank my Uncle Steve, and I'm sure you all have stories like that. NASCAR is really about family, isn't it? Isn't that the cool part about NASCAR? So next we need this middle post. See the yellow post there? We need to just continue that line up like that. Got it? And then this rear window is really little back here, so I'm going to have you draw it like this. Just a little rectangle like that. See that? Car's coming together. It's looking good. Now something special about these cars was a rear piece of glass, and it was called an aero coupe. It was a new development that helped the car go through the air faster back in the day, so we need to add that in there because it's actually right back here. So start at the top of your roof, and we're going to go just about right here in the middle of the trunk lid. So bring it back like this. And that's going to be a piece of clear glass. This is a piece of the roof. We'll color it in a second so it makes more sense, but wanted to make sure you got that in there. All right. Well, it's coming together, isn't it? It's looking pretty good. Next, we need some places to put our wheels, don't you think? Now, if you've watched us before, you know we use a certain letter in order to draw our wheels. Okay? And that letter is the letter U. So you know how to draw a letter U, right? The letter U goes like that. Well, all we have to do is turn it upside down to make a wheel well for our wheel to fit into. So I'm going to do that here, but you can draw it upside down if you would like. So I'm going to flip it. U. I'm going to put it right about there. See that? The letter U. Just like that. So if you want to draw it on the back, you just draw an upside down U. Like that. You see how my line's not perfect there? It's kind of feathery and sketchy. Well, let me tell you. We're in the world today and we're fixing some things, getting things back to normal, getting more healthy. We can fix a drawing, right? I don't want you to worry about mistakes out there. If your line's not straight or if your curve and your isn't exactly right or it has some jagged edges, don't worry about that. The beauty of a race car drawing is this. A race car looks best going fast. And what happens when something goes fast? It kind of gets blurry, right? It's kind of hard to really pick it out. Well, that's the beauty of NASCAR. Blurs and jagged lines and swooshes all over the place. So if you have a little bit of a jagged line, all that means is that the car is going fast. It's not a mistake. It's something you can fix. It's something you can work with. Here's another thing. Our drawings tell a story. And so if you really make a messy line, like say my line went like this, oh gosh, I really messed up a line like that. What happens? Well, our race car story just turned into a story about a wrecked race car. So my point is, we can make it work. Don't get caught up in if you make a mistake. All right. Let's see here. In reviewing my drawing, I think the nose needs to be a little longer. So I'm going to extend it. If yours is the same way, feel free to do the same thing. If you cannot erase, don't worry about it. Because the reality is, that nose piece actually does have a line right there that they had to use to bolt it and fabricate the nose together. So I can erase it, but if you can't, we'll just make it part of our drawing. And if your nose was perfect to begin with, good job. All right, we're coming together. It's getting really close here, isn't it? We're going to be coloring soon, I think. But let's add a wheel. Wheels are a challenge. You can either do a freehand wheel like this. You can do a circle. Are you good at freehand circles? I've had many years of practice. I'm 34 years old, so I've been drawing circles since I was about 1 or 2 years old. So I have over 30 years of practice. If you are not good at drawing a freehand circle, I'm going to show you how to do it. And this is how you do it. With something I call the dot method. I trademarked that. Don't use that. Don't steal that. Okay. Draw a dot at the top of where your wheel is going to be, at the right, at the bottom, and at the left. And it's as if there's a plus sign there. See that? That's why I put them in that spot. You don't have to draw a plus sign unless it helps you. But after that, you just connect the dots. Okay? You just connect those dots like this, bottom to left with a curve. Kind of a banana half moon shape. Then to the top. Then to the right. Then to the bottom. And now you have a pretty darn good wheel. You can fix it up, correct it. I drew it orange so that you could see it, but I'm actually going to go back in black. So why don't you work on your wheels? Wheels, of course, very important on the race car. I mean, is there anything more important? I don't know. I mean, when it comes down to it, if the engine let go, the driver could still maybe coast to the finish. So I'm thinking the wheels, other than the driver, might be one of the most important parts of the race car. Now, of course, there's a tire and then a wheel. So we have to draw a second circle on the inside, right? Whew. Thought you were done with circles, didn't you? Use whatever method you like and draw your wheel in there. So now we have a tire. And actually, back in the day, with this old Dale Earnhardt car we're driving, the Goodyear lettering was white on the tires. Today, it's yellow. So we got to make sure we put that white lettering in there. Use the dot method or your freehand method to draw a wheel inside of your tire. The tire, of course, is the rubber part. The wheel, of course, is the metal part. I'm going to read some more comments here. I see Janet's out there. Michael's a Kyle Busch fan. Me too, Michael. Thank you for saying that. Greg likes Tony Stewart. He used to drive for Joe Gibbs Racing. Brian's a Denny Hamlin fan. Craig's a Dale Earnhardt fan. We got Ricky Rudd fan and Justin out there. Christopher. A lot of fans out here. I appreciate it. Thomas is watching in Paris, France. Oh, I assume. He said Paris. There might be a city in America named Paris. We got to clarify that, Thomas. Ethan likes my shirt. Thanks, Ethan. Thanks. I think shopjgr.com still has some of these shirts. All right. Patty's a Martin Truex fan. Lori's a Eric Jones fan from Michigan. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate all those great comments. We're having fun here drawing Dale Earnhardt's car. We're almost time. It's almost time to put some decals and some color on this car, but we're not quite done. We need a spoiler. These spoilers were laying down back in the day, so I'm drawing a triangle, like a fang off the back. And then a bumper back here. You know, when I'm drawing on the Joe Gibbs Racing channel, I say, well, we're drawing Kyle Busch's car, so I have to put a bumper on there in case, you know, Keselowski or Joey comes up and bumps him. Back in the day, maybe it would have been Darrell Waltrip or maybe Richard Petty or Ricky Rudd or somebody, right, on this bumper. So even back then we needed bumpers. Of course, Dale Earnhardt is known for using the front bumper very often. And we already drew that one. All right, it's coming together. Now, if you need to erase some of these lines, you can, but you can also just fill them in. Fill them in with some dark color like black. All right. Looking good in the neighborhood here. All right. I'm going to thicken up the rear window here. It's time to add some details. You know what details are, right? They're just little aspects that make the car look even better. Like the fuel filler right here. Very nice. A little hole for the fuel nozzle to go in. How about the front valence with just a dark line right here? Actually, it was colored in on his car, so we'll color it in. I'm going to color in the wheel well area up here. Add some details. Still got that orange tire up here. I need to get rid of some of that orange at some point. All right. How is yours looking? I really like how this is looking. I think it's time to add some decals, don't you? First, a little area for where the headlight would go. Just a little dashed line like that at the front. And there was a little one down here too. So, much more simple of a car back then. Again, we're drawing Dale Earnhardt's old 1980s car in honor of his birthday yesterday. Now you notice this car, yellow and blue, had a diagonal line at the B post, A, B, C post, right at the B post that went back to the rear wheel. So we're going to draw that. Started right there and went back. And then it followed up the B post to the roof. And then along the bottom, straight line. And then it followed up the nose, like that. Bold, beautiful design there. Some history. We got Rolando watching in Dallas. Garrett's also a Tony Stewart fan. Mike loved Dale Earnhardt. Zachary's a Dale Jr. fan. We got any Joe Gibbs Racing fans out there? All right, here we go, folks. Now we have to draw that iconic number 3. This is not one of the easiest numbers in the world to draw, I have to admit, but we're going to be able to do it today, okay? Just stick with me. What I like to do is I like to fit the number inside of a box. Just like we did the race car, you fit the number inside of a box and then you kind of chisel it away, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a line that follows this line back here, like that. And then I'm going to draw another line like that. And then a bottom. And then a top. So now we have a box. Now you see how you can turn this into any number. If you have a 2-digit number, you wanted to do number 18, you just divide it in half, and now you have a 1 and an 8, or a space to make the 1 and the 8 at least. But we're working with a single-digit number, the number 3. The number 3, maybe not so ironically, has 3 legs to it, right? 1, 2, 3, right? So what I want you to do is divide this into 3 sideways. See that? Now let me erase this line because it's kind of confusing us. But hopefully you can see that. I'm going to do this a little darker so you can see it. I recommend going light on your drawing. But there's our box. Like that. And there's 3 lines. It's like a plus sign with 3 lines. See that? Now we're going to chisel away some of those lines and make that famous number 3. Okay? here we go. As you can see, it's just a bunch of rounded edges. So let's start by rounding off the corner on the top, rounding off the corner on the right top, rounding off the corner on the bottom, rounding off the corner on the left. All right, now it's starting to come together. You see how I rounded things off there? Very cool, very cool. Oh yeah, this is going to look so good. All right. Now, what next? I think we need to draw a leg about right there. Let me see if I can pick a different color so you can see what I'm doing here. So I drew that leg right there. You see that? It's just a little dash. Those are going to be the tips of our top and bottom areas. And then we just kind of draw it back like that. Draw it to the back like that. Okay, see how it's coming together? Oh yeah, it's coming together. I'm telling you, it's going to look good. And then we need the leg in the middle like that. And all you do is you connect them, kind of make a little bit of a hot dog shape here out of those legs. And then your number 3 really comes to life. I'm going to fill mine back in black. Like so. Oh yeah. And just like that, the car number is about there. It's almost finished. That wasn't too hard, was it? That's one of the more complicated numbers. Even though it's simple, it's 1 digit, you really want to get it right? Because it's so famous, that number 3. So we got about as close as I can get it. Pretty good. How'd yours look? You might want to practice on different parts of the page if you need to. All right. Well, we're coming down to it. It's almost time to color. Are you ready to color? I appreciate all the comments out there. Rick's watching in Ontario. Appreciate that. Okay. I'm going to add a little axle point, little hub area for our wheel. I think we got just about all of it. How about the window net? The window net is just some crossed lines that go up and down and then left to right. So I just like to draw some up lines. And then I like to cross them like this. And just like that, we have a window net. That's for safety. Okay. Now we need yellow and blue, don't we? First I'm going to add in the ground. The ground can be a dark line like this, which also doubles as a shadow. A shadow is very important on our drawings because it helps the car feel grounded. So the shadow can be kind of bold and messy like that if you want, and then I continue it on to form the ground. All right. How about we start adding some color in there? What do you say? Really bring this car to life. I'm going to start with the boring color first, which is a dark gray, which is what our tires are going to be. While you start looking for some yellows and some blues. And if you don't have any crayons or markers or colored pencils, that's okay. Right now your drawing is just black and white. Nothing wrong with that. I used to not like coloring in my drawings when I was younger. Felt like it kind of took some stuff away from it, but I started practicing a lot and came to figure out how to do it the way I like to do it. So remember, this is really about telling your own story. Color it as you feel necessary and as you like it, and we'll go from there. All right. Now it's time to get into the fun colors. I'm going to pick yellow first. And it's not a super bright yellow. It's got a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of orange in it. I mean a really tiny bit, not much at all. But color around the 3 and don't go into that blue area. I'm going to keep this yellow part yellow. Are you coloring along? Are you having fun today? Hope you've had a good week. Hope you and your family are doing well and staying healthy and staying safe. Hopefully we can get back to racing soon, but in the meantime, we're just coloring things up, learning some new things, enjoying our time here. coloring and drawing on some of our favorite things, which of course are race cars. You may not have even been alive back when this race car was drawn, so imagine if you're a kid and you're going to show this to your parents. They're going to be so impressed when you've drawn a car that is older than you are, because this was in the 80s. This is around 1986, 87, 88, around then. Don't forget the nose area up here. Got to color that in. I might have to go in and go back over some of my black that I drew over, but that's all right. Like I said, we can fix some little mistakes in drawings, no big deal. All right. Oh, that yellow's looking good. What a pretty car. Okay. There we go. Fix my headlight there. All right. Now the blue. It's kind of a medium blue, isn't it? There we go. Something like that. This back area and the number get filled in blue. And pay attention because there's a yellow line along the bottom of the 3. So I want to leave some space for that. See if I come in here and I just leave some space for a little yellow line underneath the 3. That's a detail that I find important, and I like to make sure I keep that saved for the yellow color. So I'll have to go back in and fix that. Alright, then just come up here. Now I do want to mention, if you want to draw these sponsor logos on here, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to scribble them in because in my drawing, in my story, the car's going really fast, you can't even read them. So it's just going to be kind of a, and I'm going to do it over the blue. But if you want to get really perfect and write the letters out, you should do that. Remember, this is your drawing, your story. Do what you think is best here, and whatever you think is going to make your drawing look the best. There's that. All right. Got to get the roof in there. This is the C post. A, B, C post. Now, of course, our truck series race cars have just 2 posts. Race cars have 3, A, B, and C. Alright, filling in this color here. I think I really chose the right blue here. I really like how this is looking. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to shade some of it. Gotta get that spoiler in there. How's yours looking? This is one of my best ever, I think. I'm proud of this one. It feels good to look at your artwork you came up with and be proud of it, right? Even if it's not the best that you've ever done, you can still be proud of it because you're practicing and you're learning something new every time, and the next time you go to draw something, it'll be even better. So, keep a positive outlook on things there. Alright, next up I got to color in the 3. Whew, no pressure. I'm going to try to stay in the lines here, this 3. Alright, how's yours looking? I really hope that after you finish your drawing, you are going to post it in the comments. Maybe you can go to a Joe Gibbs Racing comment and post your picture and show it to me. Or maybe you're on Twitter and you can just add it as a comment, as a tweet, as a reply to what you're watching here. Or you can email me at webmaster@joegibbsracing.com and I'll see it there. There we go, got the 3 in there. Now I want to get that yellow fixed. Got to put some yellow under the 3 here. Forgot about that. Yeah. Wow. Well, that really came together pretty nicely, didn't it? I'm really liking how that turned out. Well, we're coming down to the end. Just a few more minutes left of our show. And how's your car looking? I'm gonna finish coloring the rest of this. I got to color in the wheels in black and put the Goodyear on the tires. So stick with me while we do that. But make sure you check yours out and see if there's anything else you want to add to it. I appreciate you watching today. Let's finish it up here with some colors and some other details. I'm going to go into the windows here and I'm going to do some gray. I'm going to do some swooshes like this, some fast lines to try to make it look like this car's flying through the air. Cover up my window net a little bit. Maybe I go in here in black and I add a circle for the helmet, like you can see in through the window there. Add some more gray. Just make things look like they're going fast. And then I'm going to get a little crazy. I'm going to add a little purple in that window. Why not? Just reflecting interesting things in the outside world. Get some light blue in there. Just having fun with some color. Don't forget your rear window. This is actually a piece of glass back here. The aero back kind of look to it. They say it made this race car of Dale Earnhardt super fast. That's what they say. And of course he has a lot of wins to back that claim up. Alright, let me put in some white Goodyear letters on here. What do you say? By the way, when you drew the car without the color on it, you had your own template to make whatever car you wanted. Did you stick with the Dale Earnhardt car, or did you make your own? Well, the cool thing is, even if you went with the Dale Earnhardt car, you can come back and you can start over again and draw your own car and put your own paint scheme on it. Know what I mean? Alright, I'm looking at your screen over there. Yeah, looking pretty good. I need to color these wheels black, so I'm going to take my black color and swoosh in some designs in here. Really kind of rough because these wheels are spinning super fast. So just kind of swooshed them in there. It doesn't matter if they're messy. To me it doesn't. If you're a perfectionist and you like clean lines, you go for it and you go for it and you do you. But I like a little bit more of a messy, fast look here. Kind of like my hair, right? I guess that's it all ties together. If you want to get really crazy, you can add some swooshes off this car. Look at that. Some speed lines, I call them. Really make it look good. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to put these sponsor logos and I'm going to kind of sketch them in here. They're going so fast that can't really even read them right now. Like that. Oh yeah. Got some up here. Got some down here. Got a bunch of them in front of the number. Oh boy. I want to add them in there just in some swooshy kind of ways. Just alluding to it. You know what that word means? Alluding. Look it up. I don't want to give you a wrong definition. But we're just alluding to there being logos and decals there. Just making things look really fast. See how I kind of sketched that in there? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Draw some lines coming off the car. Looking good. Looking good in the neighborhood. Just a few minutes left. Let's see here. What's everybody commenting out there? I'm enjoying it. Jim's in Boston. Thomas is in France. Thanks for watching all the way from France. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing all your stories. Thanks for all the hearts and comments. I hope you like how this car turned out. I'm going to finish up some of the ground here. Give it some swooshes in the ground. See how much faster that makes the whole picture look? Yeah. All right. Maybe there's a wall in the background. He's racing by the wall. And you do something like this. Maybe the wall is just a straight line. See that there? And then you could always go in and add some swooshes above the car to make it look like there's fans in the stands. And that's when you can really go crazy and pick any color you want. I mean, you can pick a light blue like, well, that is not a light blue, is it? Not at all. That is a gray. Let's pick an actual light blue. See if you just do some dots and some fast swooshes like this, how it looks like there's things flying by in the background. And then maybe you pick a different color purple like that, and you make it look like it's flying by. And I like to pick some of the colors in the car, like a yellow, tie it all together like this. How about a green? We don't have any green in this picture. We need some green, don't we? Put a green right there and a green right there. Kind of changes the feeling of the picture, doesn't it? What else? How about a light purple? Did you know purple is the complement, which means the opposite of yellow? So if you put purple in a picture with a yellow car, it's going to make that yellow car pop. Orange is the complement to blue. So if I put some orange back here, it's it's going to make that blue pop even more. So there's a whole lot of methods to how we're going to draw this. I also like what we're doing up top here because it's kind of like a birthday cake. And that wraps up our Dale Earnhardt drawing. Thank you for watching. Of course, I'm going to sign it and call it a day. Have a good one.